The former Tony Blair spin doctor claimed working-class communities who backed Leave would suffer the negative consequences if Brexit, and urged the Labour Party to focus on the reasons behind the historic vote. Speaking exclusively to Express.co.uk, Mr. Campbell said, "I think people like myself, who are very passionate about one side of the argument, have got to have a bit of humility about understanding why people did vote." Mr. Campbell said he does not think Brexit was specifically about the EU. He believes British people voted to leave the bloc, in part due to the impact of the global financial crisis. He said, "I think it's a lot about people thinking the economy," but he also claimed the relentless propaganda on the side of Euroscepticism for decades had an impact on the vote. Getty Brexit News. Alistair Campbell calls for Remainers to show humility. "I think the Labour Party has to oppose this." Alistair Campbell. Mr. Campbell has called on the Labour Party to get tough on Brexit, and tough on the causes of Brexit, in a reference to Tony Blair's tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime slogan. He said, "Tough on Brexit, that means, if we decide this is actually going to damage us as a country, we have to say, oh, let's put a halt to that, but you can only do that if you actually address the fundamental reasons why people were so hacked off." I can buy what Jeremy Corbyn says, for example, about we need to do more about equality, the housing crisis, health, education, all the stuff that he talks about, but I don't believe we can do that if we're driving through a hard Brexit that can do fundamental damage to the economy. Mr. Campbell criticised Labour's stance on Brexit and said Jeremy Corbyn is not listening to his party members. He said 90% of members are against what's happening. He said Mr. Corbyn has failed to address Brexit sufficiently in Prime Minister's questions. He added, "I think the Labour Party has to oppose this. I understand the thing that we are worried about losing seats and they're worried about whether UKIP would come back and all of that sort of thing, despite the Labour Party not opposing Brexit." Mr. Campbell said he would never vote anything other than Labour. He said, "I'd find that very, very hard. By the next election this thing has happened. Labour seem to think this government is going to collapse, and it might do." Friday, December 8, 2017. Here is the 15-page Brexit deal in full, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Tories have got a very, very strong instinct for survival. Mr. Campbell, who was speaking to the Express.co.uk about his new novel Saturday Bloody Saturday, set only a year after Brits decided to join the EU, claimed the tragedy for him is that those in the north of England, where the book is set, will suffer most as a result of Brexit. Saturday Bloody Saturday depicts a struggling football manager in 1974 attempt to keep his team together amid the political instability in Northern Ireland and an IRA terror plot targeting a British politician. Saturday Bloody Saturday by Alistair Campbell and Paul Fletcher is published by Orion and retails at £18.99.